Yeah, hello, mate. So yeah, you're talking about this is fun. The 200 on fun. It looks better. So far, I was pretty right. We were up here, it says best to wait because fun is a coin that does like to sell off. It's not a very strong coin in the fact that it holds its gains. Now, of course, when it runs, it really runs. All right. But I just had a feeling because of the structure, because of the nature of it, that it wasn't going to run yet, that it wasn't ready to run yet. We are still actually below this trend line. We're still building below this trend line. So it'll need to break out. Like, it's never had too many runs. Like, this is a run, don't get me wrong. This is a run, but it's not a big pump like we're getting here. This is a more sustained, real uptrend, okay? But it was a new coin back then. And ever since it's been in a downtrend. So I was pretty skeptical. For a few reasons that this would sell off. Now, I'm always a little bit skeptical of fun. I'm not sure why you like fun so much. I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm not too sure if it's a very good coin or not. Um, but it doesn't matter if it's a very good coin or not. You can make a lot of money off shit coins, and that's okay. But it's just good to understand that it may not be the best of coins. But I do like the structure on it. I'm not saying I like it fully yet, but I like the development of it. It's probably going to take time, but it seems to be trying to build some sort of decent structure here. So, is this the bottom, right? There's 4 days left in this weekly candle. I would prefer if this did not move this week. Now, it's starting to move. It bounced 2% today, but I would prefer this into next week and see if that can get a move back up here next week. But one thing to note is that, here, well, we did come back up and to fill that wick. Here's a wick. We didn't really fill it, but actually, we filled the first one. Okay, fair is fair. This one here, see this one here? I'm wrong in what I was about to say. Yeah, I take that back, and I don't know if you understood what I was about to say, but these wicks, you can see this wick here. We came up and actually filled this wick. We filled it here, right? This first wick here, we popped up and filled it here, right? This wick here was the first wick. We popped up and filled it here, right? This wick here, we popped up and filled it here, okay? So all of these wicks actually did get filled. I was about to say they weren't getting filled because of the quick failure of each of them, and then they drop and move away. But if you were quick and had a trigger finger, you could have sold in good profits up here to fill this wick. So this is kind of what I had thought in mind anyway, that we drop down into the red 200 somewhere down in here, and then eventually come back up into here to fill this wick, right? So accumulating spot in theory somewhere down there can be a 50% bounce back up, and if all season holds up, if it all goes well, there could be a lot more than 50%. But I'm just saying that these drops down here can be buys. Now, the way I would suggest to play in this, because it is fun, do not buy all at once. If you are buying some here, I would be prepared to be adding a bit lower again. So if you do buy a small bit here, that's okay. But in my opinion, because it's fun and because it's a bit of a shitcoin, sometimes these can run lower than we think. So if you did buy a bit here, you need to be willing to buy another little bit down below, and then eventually when it does get the spike, you look to be selling into the spike up here, right? That to me seems like the best sort of strategy. If I was trading this, and I'm not trading this, I didn't buy fun, but if I was trading this, that's the way I would do it. Be open-minded. Do not put it all in at once. Be willing to be buying more lower, but eventually this wick will fill, right? Eventually price will come back up and fill this wick. So that's the way I would do it. The problem is this is a weekly chart. Here it took a few weeks to come back up. This actually was 3 weeks to come back up. This took 4 or 5 weeks to come back up. This took 20 weeks to come back up. But so I'm just saying, you know, having some patience in here. Maybe there's 2 or 3 weeks in here before you get some sort of spike. Or yeah, I'm not too sure on the time frame just yet. Sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's 4 weeks. It really, really depends. But you've got to remember, in my opinion, you know, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but this to me seems like a bit of a shitcoin, and you do have to be careful. I do think there's better coins out there, but this is trying to do something. Okay, it wouldn't be my first coin selection, but you know, again here, this is another way actually what you could do it. You could watch a new 5-day candle, right? And that's in 1 day and 10 hours time, and a new 5-day candle. And you know what you want to see is, well, essentially something like this, but it's this bottoming part that you want to watch. If there's a wick down here into here and it pops up and flips green again, you could buy it then. And you could buy it then, and see, as long as it stays green, then you could hold that to move up. That's another way of playing it. And that's probably the way I would focus on it, rather than buying it here today. Me personally, I probably wouldn't buy it here today. I would have some sort of strategy like this.